Welcome to Maximal Being,
a podcast devoted to ditching fad diets and using real science to get you healthy and feeling great.
I'm Doc Mock, a GI and functional medicine doctor who harnesses the power of gut health to get you achieving your goals.
And I'm Jackie P., a well-informed layman who challenges the experts and asks the questions that you want.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or leave a comment.
And now, on to the show. Hello, Maximal Beings. I feel like it's been a while.
Too long.
It's been a while. Big news, Doc Mock. I'm not gonna tell you news, so you could tell why we've been gone for a little bit, but it's been fantastic news. But we've got a little bit something new for you today. We're trying something new. We're trying to keep it innovative. But before we get into that, it's Jackie P., your favorite layman. And it's just going to be us today, just us. And Doc Mock, how are you? You're glowing, Doc Mock, by the way. You look happy. Talk to us, Doc Mock. What's going on in your corner?
Jackie P., firstly, you are my favorite layman. You're just my favorite dude. I mean, you're my dude, I feel lucky to be in the presence of Jackie P. And yes, I am glowing, Maximal Beings. I'm a daddy. I mean, and it's a boy. And Jackie P., I got to tell you, of all the horrors and all the things that people told me about being a dad, it's the best thing that I've ever done. And my heart is full, and he is just the best thing that has ever happened to us. So life is good, my friend. Life is good. And for those of you that are listening for the first time, I'm Doc Mock. I'm a therapeutic endoscopist, which is a fancy type of GI doctor that diagnoses and treats GI cancers, and I'm also boarded in functional medicine, and this is Maximal Being. Back to you, Jackie P.
Yes, for those of you listening to us for the first time, this is congratulations. You're going to be listening to a new segment.
Paleo, keto, vegan, and carnivore. Maybe you've tried them all, but did you have success? Are you still doing that diet? Turns out there's not just one diet right for one particular person. By understanding how your body works and the relationship behind your body's workings and these diets, you can then approach the perfect plan for you. In the Perfect Human Diet course, we talk to you about your body's inner workings and the pros and cons of each plan. We discuss how our ancestors ate and have eaten, and lay a framework to tailoring a plan that is perfect for you. To learn more about the Perfect Human Diet course, head to maximalbeing.com/courses to find out more. And as always, I'm Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your health.
You cannot supplement your way to health, but there are things that we need to add to our lives that can maximize our pathway to wellness. The American diet is virtually devoid of omega-3 fatty acids, which play a major role in cardiovascular disease, gut permeability, and mental health. Personally, I take omega-3s every night, and iHerb is the best place for clean, natural sources of supplements. I love the ZenWise omega-3 fatty acid supplement, which is free of fish burps and good for the environment. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/iHerb, that's IHERB, and enter the code B as in boy, D as in dog, B as in boy, 5528, and receive 10% off your orders for all supplements. Maximize your supplements with iHerb.
So, folks out there, before we get into the segment, by the way, we're going to play some clips for you. We have deemed it Sham or Gram, which working title. If you have any better ideas, we love for some ideas. But basically, with social media today, everyone's a self-appointed guru. Everyone has all types of faux science and bro science that they're pushing out there. And I'll be honest, I got tired of seeing it. So I thought it'd be fun for Doc Mock and I to watch some of these videos and see if it's a sham or Gram. Actually, the name actually doesn't really make sense when you really think about it, but it doesn't matter. You get the point. So we're going to start first. This one's called Jamu Juice, and that's Jamu. If I say that wrong, Jamu, I'm not too sure. But we're going to watch it.
And it's not the name of the very popular company that disperses juice all across America. And just as a disclaimer, we want to say we're not trying to disparage these very creative people, but we just want to make sure that you are very intrigued listeners who want to know about the real stuff get to know what is the real science and what is the bro science. So take it away,
Exactly.
Jack.
All right, let's get Jamu Juice.
When you don't eat healthily, don't get enough sleep and exercise, and have too much stress, the body responds by triggering inflammation. It's also the root cause behind many health issues. Today, I want to show you how to make a powerful anti-inflammatory drink called Jamu. It's an Indonesian tonic that's been around for centuries, and the people in Bali use this drink as a natural medicine for practically every health issue. Let's go. So you need half a cup of fresh turmeric, 1 finger length of ginger, and cut
Just
it
worried
small,
about her
leave the
fingers.
skin on.
Yeah,
Then put
please.
it all into your blender with 4 cups of coconut water and blend for about 60 seconds. Then you will place on your stove and simmer for about 10 minutes.
Whoa,
You're
whoa,
going to put
it
a
just
pinch
does
of
it all.
black pepper in it, and once it finishes, you'll squeeze
Very
a
quickly,
lemon
it
in
does
it
it too,
and a
Jessica.
tablespoon of honey. Stir good, and then you're going to strain it. You can put it into a glass bottle, and you can drink a shot of this every morning, hot or chilled.
No. Could drink a shot of this every morning, hot or chilled.
Yes.
So I want to try something, Doc Mock. I feel like, yes, I'm the layman, but I think a layman learns, right? A layman learns.
yeah.
I'm going to give my brief synopsis, and then you're going to come in and dunk at it.
Okay.
Okay. Just because I remember some of our hosts, right? I know we spoke with some friends and knew some of your friends. She said inflammation, right? Which is a big cause of a lot of health issues. I'm going to say that's good, right? I think we had that podcast. You probably remember the episode because you're way better at it. It's true, right? I remember being like a pro-inflammatory, state is not good.
Exactly.
Which
Nailed
is
it.
also, oh, thank you, Doc Mike. I tried.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to follow your lead. And one thing I would tell folks to beware of also the folks who give you some truth up front and then follow it with lies, right? Because that's something too. I'm not saying
Well
she
put.
did this at all, but
Right.
just because of one thing that's true, it isn't. And it's Jamu, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Like Shamu.
or like Shamu with a
Yeah.
J. And I mean, that's pretty much all I've got, honestly. I think the inflammatory thing is good. I don't know if this works. I don't know the nutrition behind it. I don't know why it's so important at Bali. They drink it in Bali. I don't know if that's a very healthier nation or a low inflammation nation.
Yeah. It seems like a moot point. I would say.
but Doc Mock, talk to us. What's your thought?
So the first thing that jumps out at me is that I just really want to talk to her about her cutting technique. And I'm very worried about her nails and also her fingers. So when you cut with your knuckles down facing on the thing you're trying to cut. So that way the knife, if it goes down, you're just barely nicking your fingers. Anyway, this is not a cooking podcast.
I mean, that's a very good point, though, because
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be
I'm
a
just
fully
concerned.
maximal being if you cut off one of your fingers. That's not good.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's not maximal.
Yeah. It's made of ginger. It's made of turmeric. It's made of coconut water. It's made of honey. So let's break down each of these components. So ginger as a compound, the active component is gingerol. Gingerol is noted to be an anti-inflammatory. So the way that this works is primarily by blocking something called COX, C-O-X. COX is the same thing that we block when we take anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, etc. Now, there are potential bad things that can happen when you block COX enzymes. The most important of which for us GI people is blocking platelet aggregation and the production of prostaglandins. Now, prostaglandins make you have pain, and they are inflammatory in some parts of the body, like your joints. But in the gut, that is what maintains the integrity of your gut mucosa. And so therefore, blocking those COX molecules, enzymes, can have some deleterious effects in the gut. Those of you that have consumed raw ginger, like at a sushi place, it can give you that little tummy rumbling, and that is what's going on in there. However, it can actually, it is a choleretic, meaning that your body makes something called bile, and bile is one way to detoxify, right? The liver makes bile as a means of getting those toxins out. That's one way that you can do it. And so ginger does stimulate. It is a choleretic, as is turmeric. Now, turmeric is another active compound that is curcumin. And turmeric is a very potent anti-inflammatory. There's great data on this for joint issues, for inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's. So both of those things in concept, I think, have very important anti-inflammatory properties. So that claim, I think, is true, Jackie P.
Oh, okay.
And maybe to some extent, this detoxification, and maybe to some extent aiding in digestion, but it's the claim that it is the end all be all cure all when you're, doing a bender the night before. It's not going to help you. And in fact, I pulled some data, Jackie P, looking at Jamu juice in a fashion in more the holistic sort of journals. And when you randomize patients to Jamu juice or placebo, there tended to be no difference in terms of gut-related side effects. So great in terms of the basic science, but this is just an example where somebody that maybe doesn't understand the jump from a rat to a human may be spitting out a little bit of bro science there, Jackie P. How was that?
No, I like it. You're so smart. You're just so smart. I can't get over it.
And hopefully that wasn't too doctory.
No, I love it. It
There's
was
no
great.
layman cards on the field. So
I mean,
with the ball.
There were some stutters, but then you went back and you explained what it was. So I say we're gonna go more sham on that side. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So you say there's possible benefits, maybe middle of the road, possible benefits, but maybe it's not the end all be all. So
right, I think the science is sound, the thought process is good, but when you look at it for humans, turns out no different than taking salt pills.
Okay, I like it. Let's move to the next
just
one.
Take some salt pills today.
Yeah.
Just take salt pills. It'll cost you less. You won't lose a finger.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. We got to talk to her about her dicing technique.
That's right.
All right. So this is the next one is eating on a fasted diet. Here we go. Let me. Boom.
Oh boy.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm excited.
I am too, actually.
I love the scrub hat. Firstly,
I do too. Yeah. You're like, I am in character.
Yep.
At all times.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Whoops.
So eating after a fast is metabolized totally different than eating in a fed state. It's much more forgiving to you. And what's going to happen is that you'll produce less and less insulin even in the next few days after you've fasted one day. Look at the rewards I'm telling you about.
Oh dear.
You ought to diet at least one day where you don't eat anything, because it'll give you a sustained benefit for days, because your insulin sensitivity is going to be improved. So what happens here is that insulin stays nice and low. Your body becomes more sensitive to the insulin, produces less insulin. So you're not locking the fat stores, and you keep burning fat, which is what you want to do.
True. Well, that part's true.
Yeah. Okay.
So firstly,
hold on, let me try this.
Okay, I was just gonna say I might drive down the street and talk to this guy because it seems like he's my neighbor.
Yeah, I was gonna call out two things. One, Florida Hospital. He's somewhere down there. You gotta go get him. Okay. Two, and also low key. Yeah, the Scrubs hat. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, why? Like, I didn't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But also,
yeah, I got a lot to say about that.
Cardiology. He has cardiologists. So yes, I know, like, you're a doctor, you're extremely smart. You can talk to a lot of things, but I'm very curious on why he's given a talk specifically about fasting. Now, as everyone knows who listens, we talk about fasting. We're a big fan of fasting. There's a lot of benefits to fasting. However, if the layman is correct, it's not like a magic bullet that you just fast for one day and you can do whatever you want for several days.
No.
So I'm going to already say sham on this as the layman. But Doc Mok, please take it away.
Yeah. So this is like the opposite of the last one, Jackie P. So in the last one, we had good science, right? And claims that kind of match the basic science part, right? The biochemical aspect, looking at a lab in a microscope, but it didn't correlate to humans. This is one where this guy takes care of humans and he doesn't understand the biochemistry. So he's got to go
Yeah.
back to first and second year of medical school and remember that stuff. But fortunate for you listeners, that is what functional medicine is all about. My first issue is the attire. You're talking at a public speaking engagement, and you don't have the time to just change yourself into something that makes you look presentable. You are not that busy. You're not that important. You can take your scrub hat and your scrubs off. It's like the guy that goes to the gym, and I had one of these in Cleveland, and he would wear his scrubs in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, think about it if your doctor rolled up into the operating room and had just been working out in nasty scrubs. Like, remember
Yeah.
that when we had you on for the first time and when we had Bob on back in
Yeah.
the day during the start of COVID, we talked about how gross gyms were.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're bringing
Like,
that
dude,
into a sterile operative field. Anyway,
Yeah.
so intermittent fasting, the benefits, yes, absolutely. It can benefit insulin resistance, right? The way I think of insulin resistance is that your body, the basic mechanism is insulin is your body's signal to bring blood glucose or sugar down in the bloodstream. When we have too much blood glucose in the bloodstream for years, your body gets tired of bringing that signal down. And so it doesn't want to hear it anymore. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess there's some glucose in there. I'm tired. I'm not going to bring it down anymore. And so your cells become resistant to it. And so extra glucose is then stored as energy. And the best way to store energy in the human body is in the form of fat. Glucose is worth about 4 energy dollars, right? We call those calories.
Yep.
But a fat molecule or a fat gram of fat has about 8 of those in it. So it's just a better way to store energy. When you fast over time, yes, your cells can be more receptive to insulin. However, this is not an immediate effect. And in fact, they've looked at this in both basic science research and also in humans by testing their glucose with these kind of fancy glucometers that you can wear continuously. And in fact, it takes at least 4 days for your body to release a lot of its stores of glucose. The other, which is called glycogen. Glycogen is kind of a complex glucose molecule, and it's stored in various organs, your liver, and in fat cells, or in different parts of the body, like muscle. And it takes at least 4 days for you to deplete these glycogen stores and for you to be able to start burning other things like fat, and for your insulin signaling to kind of reach a homeostatic or a kind of a baseline process. And then the other thing to add is that if you have terrible diabetes, right, and you've had insulin resistance for years and years and years, it's going to take a longer time for that insulin process to become more sensitive. So unfortunately, Jackie P, I think you have found another sham, and I hate to say it, but it's a member of my community.
It's tough. It's tough. Doubly too. Your Floridian community, which
I
I think
I know.
is a double whammy.
I know. I got to go and talk to him. I'll be right back. Let me
Okay.
get in the car.
Where is this guy?
What's going on, Maximal Beings? It's Doc Mock here. Many of you are returning to the gym now, but some are not going back. Regardless of what you plan, Rogue has got the right gear to fit your needs. I personally own a barbell set and love it. The Black Ops shorts are sweat resistant and flexible for getting deep in your squats. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/rogue for our referral link. Order 3 items and they ship for free. And as usual, it's Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your pathway to wellness. If you're stuck at home and cannot make it to the grocery store, delivery may be the best way to stay clean and healthy. Instacart is the national leader in the direct-to-home delivery service. With numerous major chains and food from smaller stores, you can get those local veggies sent directly to your doorstep. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/Instacart and maximize your nutrition today.
So this one's a short one. It's effective alcohol, and it's 22 secons.
I'm getting
I want it to
excited.
be right. I want to have hope, you know, because we're on the internet. And
Yeah.
I feel like we develop good information.
Yeah. And somebody's
So-
probably out there like playing my video and like, this guy's full of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look it up, buddy. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
We do the research.
We do.
Doc
the
does the
research.
research.
Yeah.
I just kind of ask questions.
You do
right.
the research.
Yeah, I do. Don't tell anyone that.
Yeah.
Trade secret. All right. So
By the way, I heard Jamu juice can balance your 457. Is that
this is
is that
actually
correct?
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually. So Jamu juice does a lot of great things. Besides protecting your fingers from a cut, it balances your 401k, 403b, 457, and also changes your tires, rotates them,
Wow.
and changes the oil. It is the number one, I say, juice that people should be taking advantage of.
That's right.
And guys, we were not paid for that advertising. This is how we feel about
right.
Jamu juice.
That's right. If you want to change a tire, you need to drink
drink this juice.
drink Jamu juice.
And then also one key too, as a person. So one thing I'm not laying is math, and math is the world of precision, and so is cooking.
Yeah.
And so one finger length of ginger
Yeah.
is not a measurement.
It's a little
because
variable.
If you have my hands, a finger length is like 1.5.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just saying, in ginger, you put too much ginger, your tummy's gonna be upset with you. So
I know.
all right.
That's
Is it time for a break? Is Jamu commercial coming in? All right.
That's right.
We've been sponsored by Jamu Juice. It's that obvious.
All right. What a major conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Listeners.
Oh boy. All right. This was a short one. 22 seconds. The effect of alcohol. Let's go.
The effect of alcohol is much more substantial than I realized. To
sitting
give
on
you a
a
good
toilet?
reference, the average person has like 2.5 hours.
Was
of rest.
that?
Is he sitting on a toilet?
He actually, holy moly.
He really
What?
looks
He is-
like it, right?
He
he's like-
does.
he's
Can I
in
move
that
this thing?
Position.
Oh yeah. It's
Definitely a toilet.
yeah. It's convenient.
He's
It's
like, oh no,
convenient.
oh no, my screen's on.
He's like, oh, we're recording this now? All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go.
Shouldn't have drank that Jamu juice.
I know. Oh, too much Jamu juice. All right. All right. Let's go. We're professionals, Doc Mock. Let's do this.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
The effects of alcohol. Let's go.
The effect of alcohol is much more substantial than I realized. To give you a good reference, the average person has like 2.5 hours of REM sleep per night. So if you have 2 drinks, right, just 2 drinks, that goes from 2.5 hours to 1.5 hours. If you have 4 drinks, you're going down to 30 minutes. And then 6 drinks, you're getting less than 2 minutes total REM sleep. So essentially, your body is not flushing any of those toxins it produces throughout the entire day.
Okay. There was a lot of math and ratios there that I was like,
Definitely,
okay.
he's definitely flushing something. during the video.
All right, so layman check. So if I remember, I don't remember what episode it was very early on episode. It was yourself, RN Graham. Shout out to Mr. Graham.
Yep.
And Sharif.
Sharif, yep.
Sharif. Yes, you were
Yeah.
talking about sleep.
Yeah,
And yes, I do remember alcohol does affect your sleep.
for sure.
Because like I don't remember how it affects your sleep, but I know it's not good for you because a lot of folks think, oh, a little nightcap, a little bourbon, a little bit of a wine, gets me sleepy and I snooze, but counterproductive, counterintuitive. The 2.5 things of REM, I don't know what that is. And I don't know how you get 2 minutes of REM sleep. So, I mean, I feel like it's it's back to Jamu juice where it's like, okay, the foundation starts off strong, but then as the house gets built, it starts to
Gets
become a little shaky. So,
Yeah.
all right, Doc Mock, tell me what what's wrong with this guy here? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I wanted to send a thank you to my muscle-bound colleague there for, spreading that general message that yes, alcohol interferes with REM sleep. Well validated in scientific evidence. I encourage all of you to go back and listen to our episode where we have Jyoti Grewal, who is the sleep doctor for the 49ers, on talking about the impact of various things on sleep and sleep hygiene. And it only takes one drink. And in fact, that one drink, Jackie P, sticks around for 14 days, 11 to 14 days, depending on the person and your ability to metabolize alcohol. The way that it does this is it takes phosphatidylcholine. I know it's a long word, but this is a molecule that is permeable, goes freely through the blood-brain barrier. So think of it as there's a gate And the bad stuff wants to immigrate into your brain country, but this gate says no. We're not going to let you in without a proper pass or proper clearing. This phosphatidylcholine molecule gets broken down, the choline pops off, alcohol pops onto it, and then it can freely go into your blood-brain barrier without any sort of issue. So then you got the bad guys popping around in your brain. So in terms of his message, this is 100% true that yes, alcohol, even one drink, does interfere with sleep. Yes, the more you drink, the worse it gets. And there is actually another point, is that not only does it freely cross into the blood-brain barrier, interfere with your hormones, but you also become somewhat volume depleted or dehydrated during the course of the night. And so therefore that fight or flight system, the sympathetic nervous system, kicks into play. So your heart rate starts beating. I don't know if any of you have woken up in the middle of the night and you feel like your heart is racing or you feel short of breath. That's what's going on at that time. But the math is where I know. So my friend Dave Botwin, shout out to him. He's listening right now. I know that for a fact. And he's in the military. He has a degree in mathematics, and mathematics.
So he's wicked smart.
He is very smart, and mathematics are a very linear science, right? A plus B equals C. But this guy doesn't take into account that there are other variables. I am not the same size as him. Some of you may want to be the same size as him, but him drinking one drink will not have the same effects as me drinking one drink. And that is for more than just size. It's our metabolic differences. It's the meal that you have with it, the timing of that meal, the fat content of the meal. All these things impact that very linear algebra that he put out there into the universe. So thank you for saying that message, but just stick the math to the math people.
Yeah. And also, may I say, like, what was wrong with like just broader information? Like, hey, listen, you know, I learned drinking really affects my sleep, so I don't do anymore because I'm gonna take care of myself, and that's it. Like, why is there always like some sort of like ratio and like, yes, like,
yeah, or like at a stipulation. It depends on, you know, or on average. Just say that. On average, most people, most men, most women.
All right, so we have time for one more.
Let's do it. I'm warmed up. I'm hyped up.
The 13-year-old Jackie saw the title of this, and I couldn't help myself. It's called Boner Shake. Okay, so
we'd like to apologize to all the women listeners out there.
Yes, and all the adults listening, I apologize, but it's been a loopy day for me. And you know, like, so we're just doing this. But also I would
3-year-olds for like just a minute or two. Okay.
Yes. And also I would also like to add that Doc Mock and I have not looked at these videos beforehand.
No.
So like, this is just stuff we're just watching. There's no expectation. Like, so all right, so we're getting into it. No more disclaimers. Let's check out Boner Shake. All right. And
are we allowed to can we show this on our YouTube channel?
I don't know.
Can be really explicit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hope we don't get reported.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. All right. Oh, this was a short one, 23 seconds. So
there you go.
Let's focus up.
The night before a scene, what I'll typically do is I'll have what I call my boner shake. So my boner shake is really simple. It's just 4 raw eggs and a scoop of vanilla protein powder and some water. So I've got like all the basic chemical building blocks I need to produce a ton of testosterone while I'm asleep. Like all that cholesterol, good cholesterol. So when I wake up, I call it my boner shake because if you do that, if you try that, you should wake up the next morning with a raging hard on.
Wow. Electric.
I don't even know what to say.
You know.
Oh boy.
I think whether this segment works or not, I think we're going to continue doing this because this is very fun.
Yeah.
But okay, so
we hope all of you out there are having fun with us.
Yeah. Too. Sorry, guys. Like I hope, and gals and folks and everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so boner shake. So I think it's very clear, and I'm gonna start making up backgrounds for folks because this is where we are. So this person is probably obviously a performer right? In the
Yeah.
explicit world, right? We're all adults. It's out there, whatever. So I would say he probably has some, I would assume he has some sort of credibility. However, I don't know, and please, Doc Mott, tell me if I'm wrong, because I'd love to be wrong. I don't know how a ton of protein directly turns into testosterone. Like, I know protein is good for your body, but like, I don't know if there's like maybe a detail he missed, and that's an actual translation. And I don't know about like, I don't know if there's good cholesterol in protein shakes as well. So I feel like there's a lot of little nuances that he said, but the thing is, his confidence was crazy. I was like, wow, this guy, he's he know, like he.
I mean, maybe we should try this shake.
Yeah,
Jackie
I know,
P.
right?
mean,
Like, do some science. Do some.
Not that I need a difficult time with
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
Like you
And
put
also,
it,
you know, yeah, I don't know. So I my thing is, I don't know how protein translates to testosterone, or also how, yeah, like I don't know how also the protein or the protein powder has good cholesterol.
Yeah. So I mean, I
So-
think maybe what he's saying has the cholesterol is more the eggs than the protein powder itself.
Ooh,
I have
point.
and I have no beef with like eggs at all. You know, we were surrounded in the 1980s and 90s that eggs are bad, right? Eggs have cholesterol. Cholesterol's bad for you. And that's all started by this guy, Ansel Keys. He had, you know, a multi-continent study. And this guy was a scientist, but he was kind of a bully, Jackie P. And he actually had a lot of voice in our government. And so he kind of led the campaign at that time that fat is bad. And we talk about this on our 2-part episode with Ankur Kalra, who is a cardiology friend, colleague of mine, probably the most brilliant doctor that I know, to be honest with you. But we talk about this multi-continent study and how it kind of led this charge towards healthy grains and the American Heart Association putting their stamp on different cereal brands at one point in time, and how we're fatter than ever as a result. And so,
nailed it.
yeah. And so thanks, Ansel Keys. America hates you now.
Yeah.
And just another example of how bullies need to just be quiet and go.
We don't like bullying. We do not support bullying here at Maximal Being. I'll tell you that.
We do not. We do not. Now, this is similar to our first video in that there is some basic science here that can be helpful. So yes, cholesterol is a building block of testosterone. The steroid hormone cascade, it's this kind of block. Everybody had to memorize it in medical school. I was tested on it thoroughly in my functional medicine training. You have cholesterol that's turned into pregnenolone. Pregnenolone turns into progesterone. Yes, that's true. And this happens in all people. That turns into then 17-hydroxy progesterone by 17 lyase, and then into androstenedione, and then into testosterone. That can then be turned into estrogens. All of this can occur in various forms and quantities based upon the amount of fat that you have, the amount of cholesterol that you take into your body, and then all kinds of other inputs. Namely, you know, there are a lot of herbs and supplements that we can give to impact this. So like for postpartum women, nettle root has been shown to actually help with shifting away some of the more active forms of estradiol into the less active state to help with, you know, those kind of menopausal symptoms that you can get from the hormone crash, with good evidence. Now, does taking in a lot of cholesterol correlate with a high amount of testosterone? To some degree, Jackie P, it does. But there's a ceiling, right? Too much cholesterol in can sometimes build up. And just like anything in excess, your synthetic pathways get out of whack. You store it in fat. And you can also store it in your arteries, and that can cause cardiovascular disease. So it's not a more is better thing for all people. But I see no issue in protein. You know, as long as your kidneys are functioning to some degree, you are going to be able to break down protein okay, your liver is functioning okay. And you need protein to be able to build things. But I think in this case, it's really the cholesterol that's helping with testosterone. And Jackie P, I'm going to say that erectile dysfunction and testosterone high or low, are completely unrelated, right?
Wow. Okay.
You can
Didn't know
have a
that.
normal or high testosterone, and you can actually have erectile dysfunction, because getting an erection is a very complicated process, contrary to what most people think.
Oh, really? Because from
Yeah.
what I know and what I see out there, it seems like a pretty simple equation.
Yeah, but there's a lot that can be happening there, right?
Interesting.
There's psychological inputs in a lot of people. I would imagine, especially in this guy's industry, there are a lot of psychological
Oh, yeah.
aspects. And you know, people that take testosterone supplements illegally, right? They have erectile dysfunction. So again, it's not a linear relationship. And this is another thing where, yes, understanding that basic cholesterol cascade can be a little dangerous.
Yeah. So I've got a follow-up question, Doc Mock. One, I gotta say, did not expect that answer. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you have here, you know, to keep me honest, because I was going all left field with this guy. So how quick is that turnaround? Because he says the night before. So is it something like the night before you'll get like a little testosterone boost?
This is just
Like
the it's just the digestion thing. You know, it takes on average your body, you know, it depends on the time frame, your motility, the function of your pancreas, blah, 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 all of those things to see how well you are at digesting things. But on average, it takes several hours for us to fully digest the things that we eat, right?
Okay. Okay.
You know, those patients that come to me and they say, I ate a salad and I see salad coming out. It's not the salad that you just ate. It's the salad from the day before that you ate. That's just like,
got it,
physically impossible, or you have a real big problem that we need to look into medically.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the final call? Is Boner Shake, are you giving Boner Shake a thumbs up, halfway thumb, like in Gladiator, or thumb down, or how do we feel? Or is this like a Jamu Juice situation where it's like, it depends on a lot of other factors?
It's not going to hurt you, right? It's not harmful, this knowledge, but if you want to get an erection, there are many more things that you can take in a shake that will do it for you. So if you want to talk about that, email us at team@maximalbeing.com. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment, because it does help us to get the word out.
I would say though, all those eggs, all the protein, it's going to be one gassy dude the next day. So the Boner Shake might be, but maybe your partner may not be wanting to be near you if you're farting up the room. So,
egg farts are a real deal.
Yeah. You ever been in the elevator with a dude on a high protein diet? All right.
Yeah.
That's chemical warfare. So,
you know, not to digress too much, Jackie P, but I did a microbiome test on a very high protein diet at one point in my life. And it is amazing the amount of dysbiosis that you can get, meaning bad bacteria that can pop up when you just have a lot of protein and don't have enough of the other things. So it's about balance. And you got to have some vegetables, people. I'm sorry to say. Got to do it.
Veggies. If it's a carrot, eat the carrot.
Eat the carrot. That's right.
Eat the carrot.
Yeah. Jackie P, this was great. I'm digging this segment. We're going to have to make this come back. Yeah. I hope everybody did too. Yeah.
Also, I will dare say, folks, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Send it to us.
Send it to us so we can say something for you.
We'll say something for you. And, you know, just, because this was fun. And I think the internet, of course, never loses. And so there'll be plenty of fodder out there for us to just, you know, mix it up.
Yeah. Brilliant idea, Jackie P, as always.
Oh, thank you. It just, you know, I just got tired of seeing the stuff, you know, so I figured, you know, let's put it in front of the doc and let him chop it up. So
that's right.
Everyone, listen, it's been fun. It's been real. Please let us know what you think. Please share your thoughts, everything with us. Of course, this is myself, Jackie P, signing out. Appreciate you guys. Doc Mock, do that thing you do.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. It does help us to get the word out. If you have any questions or want to undergo one of our gut health revitalization programs, email us at team@maximalbeing.com, or you can head to maximalbeing.com and hit the contact bar, and I will get back to you personally, believe it or not. Jackie P, I've been doing a lot of individual consulting, and you know, I feel so honored to be a part of these people's lives. I just saw a woman that has seen 8 other gastroenterologists,
Whoa.
including very reputable, very big places. Not that my institution is not, but I found a parasite in her testing. And I think that if we get rid of this parasite, it's going to make her feel a whole lot better. So sometimes you just got to look at things with a different lens and not just scope somebody.
That's incredible. Well, congrats to you and congrats to her. I hope it works out.
Yeah. We'll talk to you next time, Maximal Beings. And as always, I'm Doc Mock, and I'm here with Jackie P, and we are here to maximize your health.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? Doc Mock here. If you haven't done so already, leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button. Let your friends and family know. That way we can get the word out and continue to bash the bro science.